Despite being as big into manga as I am actually not that big into anime these days. As I've gotten older, watching anime for me has just become harder. Like, watching an anime series in particular just doesn't really hold my interest. And I'm not dissing anime. Like, every now and then I'll put on like an anime movie if it interests me. Like, I'll watch a movie recently watched Grave of the Fireflies. Grave of the Fireflies is really good. Darkest Studio Ghibli movie, but we're not here talking about that. I wanted to get on here and make a video about an anime I knew almost nothing about called Nana. Over the course of like this week or last week, I've been watching it and I surprisingly really liked it. And this isn't something I usually just do. Even like with mangas, I usually just don't take a random shot in the dark with a random series. But I didn't go into Nana 100% blind. I went in thinking it was going to be good. A lot of people like the series and say it's near masterpiece level. Before I get into it, I just want to talk about what I thought of it. So before I checked out Nana, I thought it was an LGBTQ manga where the two main characters were females and they were gonna fall in love. And I thought I thought it was gonna be two storylines. I thought it was gonna be like the pop star heavy metal, like let's form a band story arc, and the other main character would be into fashion and like wants to become a fashion designer because music and fashion is two big things in this series. It's kind of like Bleach, as a lot of people often look at Bleach's character designs and clothes as like one of its best things, even though it really shouldn't be the case. But Bleach characters do have drip, don't worry, I'm not saying that. But Nana characters also do have drip. They have very realistic, like, designer clothes. I don't usually watch like realistic slice of life stuff like that. So I told myself, if I don't like it, I'll drop it. I don't really care. So I started watching it. I started watching the English dub. If you are interested in Nana, which I highly recommend, it is 21 manga volumes, I'm pretty sure, and it is 47 episodes, subbed and dubbed. So let's dive into Nana. So, what is Nana really about? Other than like its main characters and stuff, we're gonna be taking a little deep dive into it. I think Nana as a series is human. All the characters feel real, they love, they care, they feel. I damn near think that this series has some of the best like humanization of like fictional characters. And if it's not the best, hell, it's definitely up there. These characters all care for each other. They love. When they get sad, you'll get a little sad for them. And the other thing I think this series is about is the roller coaster of emotions that is love. Because love isn't easy. How Nana starts, the first episode is basically for all of Nana Komatsu. She's an energetic, ongoing girl moving to Tokyo to live with her boyfriend Shoji. Uh, and at the end of the episode, she gets on the train and meets the other main character, Nana Osaki, and they quickly bond and they meet on the train. And so after they get off the train, they don't really exchange phone numbers or anything. And Hachi goes to live with her boyfriend Shoji. And around this time, we meet we start to meet all the side characters like Junko and her boyfriend Kiyosuke. They're also goated. Love them. And as like Hachi is living with her boyfriend, she realizes that this isn't what she wanted, really. Like, she doesn't want to just stay at home and bother Shoji while he's in school at this time. So she decides to go out and get a house. She doesn't really find anything until she finds an apartment that she really likes. And by some play of fate, she runs into Nana Osaki, who is also there. And they agree to buy the apartment together, like they split the rent. And that's basically where the story starts. We get a flashback episode of Hachi and her story where she constantly has bad luck with men. And until she meets Shoji, we get to see Nana's story where she was in a band with her friends Nobu, Yasu, and Ren. And she gets heartbroken because Ren is invited to play in a much bigger band called Trap Nest. So, and their band, which is called Blast, has to break up for a little bit. And once they move to Tokyo, Nana decides to reassemble the band. Nobu and Yasu come back. And they have a new guitarist. I'm pretty sure he's the guitarist. Shin. All the members of Blast, Yasu, Nobu, Shin, and Nana, they're just all such very interesting characters in their own right. Nana is she's kind of cold, but at the same time, she has that kind of warm feeling about her. She's gonna act like she doesn't care about you, but she secretly does and will go out of your way to help you. Nobu is your typical anime trope guy, not the brightest, but he's trying his best. Sheen is a lot younger than all the other members. I think at the start of the series he's 15, or around this time he's 15 or 14. He doesn't know a lot about the world, or specifically Japan, because much later in the series he reveals that he grew up overseas, I think. And throughout the whole series, the characters are surprised that he doesn't know basic Japanese stuff. And Yasu is a serious, he's described later on by Nana herself as the eldest brother stereotype, where he's reliable and takes care of everyone. And basically they're all a really close group of friends. And as the series continues, Shoji, Hachi's current boyfriend at this time, decides to break up with Hachi for another girl named Sachiko. And Hachi becomes depressed, kinda, or really sad. And basically didn't leave the house for a very long time. Everyone was worried about her. Even Junko, who towards the end, later half of the series, doesn't appear a lot, but even decides to come check on her friend. But I really feel that because personally this hit some chords with me personally, because the heartbreak for Hachi genuinely felt real. Because humans in general are just so strange. How can you fall for someone that hard while the other person just moves on like that, just leaving you in your own sorrows? Because, well, it doesn't show Shoji doesn't really appear after the breakup, seriously, until the dead end of the series or anime. Disclaimer: this series isn't ended yet. It has just been on a 16-year hiatus at this point. I think it went on hiatus in 2009. So please come back. I want this series to finish. I'm hoping with the new Vivienne Westwood deluxe editions, I'm really hoping the author comes back and finish this. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Nana or Hachi, I keep calling her. They're both named Nana. You should get it at this point. Hachi. I'm gonna try to lock in and call her Hachi. So Hachi, she's depressed. Junko comes to visit, and she feels like really bad. And she gets over it eventually, and starts to date Nobu, of all people. Wait, no, hold on. We need to back up. I forgot something. So after the breakup with Shoji, and before Hachi gets with Nobu, Nana meets up again with Ren, her old boyfriend. And this is around this time, this is when Trap Nest, like the band members, start to become main characters. The main characters of Trap Nest, it's Ren, Takumi, and Reira. Reira admittedly doesn't do that much for the story at first. So I will just quickly say what she does for the story. Basically, Reira, she had an old relationship with Yasu, and later in the series gets in a relationship with Sheen, and spawns a horrible audio, by the way.
Be coming up next week.
Oh, happy birthday.
There's nothing happy about it. I'll be 23. It makes me feel old.
23 is still young.
But I'll be 8 years older than you.
Takumi, at the very start, Takumi was kind of an asshole. Like, he gave off, like, manipulator vibes, especially towards Hachi, because around this time, Takumi and Hachi do hook up together and, have the fun. But, yeah, Ren is also back in the story. He's still in love with Nana. And they do get back together, but something that happens with Nana that I kind of don't like, but I also understand why it happens. She just gets confused on who she really loves. At some points, she loves Yasu. At some points, she loves Ren. Basically, when Nana is alone or away from Ren, she starts to think of other men that she might love. And when Ren comes around, she starts falling for him again. She even tells herself multiple times, I'm pretty sure, that she wants to break up with Ren, and even acknowledges that Yasu likes her and wants to form a relationship. And it just doesn't happen, unfortunately. I would have loved to see those two ended up together, especially for all the things Yasu does for Nana and just the band in general. But I guess while we're on this topic, this is just the situation where the love just didn't work. The spark wasn't bright enough, basically. Or maybe it's the saying, right people, wrong time. Where, yes, they were good for each other, but maybe Nana was too blind to see Yasu for how he really was. Or maybe it's just a situation where Nana just wanted to keep that brotherly relationship. Because, like I said earlier, kind of like how Nana gave Yasu, an older brother, term. She kind of did that for the whole band of Blast. Sheen was, the bratty younger brother that everyone picked on, and Nobu was, the no-good middle child, and she was, the only daughter. But, back to the main story. Hachi gets really sick and finds out she's pregnant with Takumi's baby. And at this point in time, Nobu and Hachi were in a relationship. And it really sucks because their relationship was genuinely so sweet, with them often being around, and Nobu always being hey, he'll like flex and be like, you think these scrawny muscles are good enough for you? And she'd be like, of course. I just want you and I want to be happy with you. And Nobu like even tells himself that he's gonna work hard for her to support her. But at the same time, he also like notices that like his job doesn't pay that good. He's not really going anywhere in life at that moment, so he doesn't really know what to do. And then this whole business with Hachi being pregnant with Takumi's baby. Takumi comes over to the apartment. Um, he calls up Nobu and he talks with Hachi and he basically says, his baby or not, he's gonna take care of both of them. And Hachi decides to get with Takumi to like raise the baby and basically like just leaves really fast. Hachi doesn't really say goodbye to Nana, which was her roommate. She doesn't say goodbye to Nobu. She doesn't say goodbye to Yasu, not Sheen, not really anybody. And it kind of hurt especially hard with Sheen because Sheen really liked Hachi, not in like a lovey-dovey way, but more like, hey, I'm glad you're my friend kind of relationship. And this is kind of another thing that hit me pretty hard. It's relationships that don't really have closure, as just the thought and like kind of pain of being with someone and them just leaving you hurts really bad. I think after Hachi leaves, I think we have a bit of a time skip for a few months where it's revealed Takumi and Hachi are gonna get married, and like a lot of characters are working extra hard. Blast at this point is going off really hard with their music. Oh, speaking of the music, this is something I really like about this series. I don't know why I don't know like what this trope would be called. It just kind of tingles with my brain. But Nana has 3 openings, I'm pretty sure, throughout its episodes. And what it does is the openings are songs played by the band Blast in the series. And that just genuinely tickles my brain. I love when stuff like that happens. And also, the music in this show is just fire, especially the first opening. Really good. Highly recommended. Didn't like it at first, but it grew on me quickly. And like, there would even be times where I would sing along with it, as cringe as that sounds. But yeah, Blast is working hard. I think around this time, Trapnest gets in some controversy about, like, I remember they get in controversy because it's revealed that Nana Osaki is in a relationship with Ren, who is like one of the main singers of Trapnest, and that's like a whole arc. Trapnest has to like leave the country due to all the paparazzi, and Blast they like go like somewhere hidden to like make music, and they come back and they end up in like this weird hotel, and there's like these 2 characters that get introduced. I think if the series continue, I think the main character who gets introduced at this hotel is named Layla. I think she exists because if the series is going to continue, I think she's going to continue growing a relationship with Nobu. But yeah, then we get to... Oh wait, no. Then Blast has a big performance, like a really big performance, and Hachi sees it and freaks out. And she's like, wow, I'm so happy for Nana, yay. Then, like, towards, like, the last episode, the characters find out about this fireworks festival, which is kind of, like, a big thing in this series, because that, like, the first fireworks festival, they couldn't really do it due to weather, so they had, like, a really small one, but it was genuinely, like, a really nice bonding for all the characters. I don't remember whose idea it is, I think it's Takumi. No, I don't think it's Takumi. I think it's Nana. I'm pretty sure who like yeah, summer festival, fireworks festival. Let's call everybody, and everybody gets invited, and Hachi, who is also invited, she gets really worried about seeing everyone again, especially Nobu at this time, and she just breaks down, not wanting to see him. So she's like texting this on the phone to Nana, by the way. So Nobu agrees. He's like, I'll like stick out of this. You guys go. So he stays at the apartment, and the rest of the members of Blast go. You know, Nana, Sheen, Yasu. They go. They're like dressed up. By the way, I don't really remember what's up with that. So they go. Nobu stays at the apartment. He's also crying, and Hachi is like on the way to the fireworks festival and runs into Shoji, her first lover at the start of the series. And at first, they're like rude to each other, and they're kind of like mean throughout the whole time they hang out. But at the end, they kind of have a bittersweet moment where Shoji reveals that even though they really just argued and bickered the whole time, that every time he was around Hachi, he had fun. It ends, Shoji has to go his own way back to his girlfriend Sachiko because they're still together. Shoji learns about like the baby, he learns about Takumi and all that. And before they leave, Shoji does basically say like, goodbye Nana, we're probably never going to see each other again. Hope you have a good life, basically. I think what this whole like situation slash ender with Shoji and Hachi, I personally think this represents ending a relationship or getting closure. As Hachi, like, despite being with Takumi, she still thinks about Nobu and Shoji, her exes. And towards like the beginning of the series, when she gets with like Nobu, she still thinks about her past relationships before moving to Tokyo. But I think what this is supposed to mean with Shoji and Nana, or Hachi meeting and like saying goodbye, I think this represents that saying, like, truly ending a relationship hurts. Because these were two young people that loved each other and really wanted to be together. The only reason they broke up in the first place is because Shoji met Sachiko, and Sachiko, like, all three were torn, but Sachiko was like, she seems nice, you should be with her. And it's just in the end, Shoji got with Sachiko. Like, the love there was more anyway. But truly ending relationships is one of the hardest things you can do for a person if you love or care about them. Even if you're ending the relationship for their own sake or for their good or their own health, it's rough. Love in general hurts. If it's true love, you're gonna hurt, basically. And it's like the saying, pain is good, because we're human. Humans were put on this planet to love, and, well, other than like to mate, we were put here to love. And it's like the saying, if you feel pain, it's good. Because what I'm trying to get at, humans will always, throughout their whole history, whether you believe in the Bible or evolution, humanity always has endured hardships, and they've always came back stronger than that. whether it be physically stronger or mentally. And then we get to, this isn't the last episode, it is the second last. Or it could be the last, maybe the website I watched it on, like, messed it up. But we get to see into the future, like 5 years from then. It's everyone at the apartment, the main members of Blast, and everyone's grown up. Sheen is older, Nobu's older, Yasu's older, Nana's older, and Hachi comes in, and she has her daughter. They didn't name her Sachiko, like Satsuki. I think that's it. It's something with an S, and they're all like getting ready for the firework festival. And I think what this is supposed to mean is that they're all like they all endured the hardships. They endured the hardships of all their jobs. Like Yasu, at the beginning, he was working at a law firm. Then he dropped that to protect, like, to be with the band and to, like, help everyone. Nobu went through his relationship with Hachi. Sheen, I'm gonna be kind of honest. He kind of had it a little bit easy in the series, like compared to everyone else. And Nana went through a lot with Rin and their relationship. But the fact that these characters can still come together and like be friends and not like be completely awkward around each other. Like, for example, in this episode, Hachi is helping Nobu with something, and they're not both like completely torn about what could have been, and basically they're not like so torn up about the relationship. They can still look at each other and talk to each other as if they were friends, because at the end of the day, all this series is about love, and these characters love each other. And when you love a person, you can overlook a lot. I think that is it for this video. I deeply apologize if this video isn't that good. This is just a video I wanted to make because this is a series I really like and want to get it out there more. So I apologize if I didn't mention some moments. I apologize if I repeated things, and I do apologize at some points. I couldn't like make my point clear enough. So, but if you did like this video, please like and comment maybe. And if you like this style or kind of video and want to see more, I got some in the chamber. And yeah, if you want to see like, if you want me to check out an anime as well, and if you got any like recommendations, please feel free to comment. Because if it interests me, I'll watch it. Or if the anime doesn't seem that interesting, I might check out the manga. But if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.